You carry the pressure, you absorb the stress, and you don't complain. And when something frustrates you, you swallow it because that's what responsible men do. But suppressed anger doesn't vanish. It converts into irritability, withdrawal, or distance. Today, we're going to talk about how to express anger with discipline so you can lead with strength instead of silent shutdown. Most responsibility-minded men make a quiet deal with themselves. If I don't lose control, then I'm doing it right. So instead of exploding, they suppress. Now, psychologist James Gross at Stanford has studied emotion regulation for decades. His research shows something important. Suppressing emotions doesn't eliminate it. In fact, it increases physiological stress. Your heart rate rises, blood pressure rises, the body stays activated. You look calm, but your nervous system isn't. Suppression isn't regulation, it's internal pressure, and pressure always finds a way out. Anger that isn't processed doesn't just disappear, it converts into irritability, sarcasm, withdrawal, emotional distance, low patience, reduced desire, chronic fatigue. You think you're being controlled, but your wife experiences you as unavailable. You think you're protecting your family, but they experience you as hard to reach. And that's how overload becomes shutdown. You're still functioning, still providing, still responsible, but you're not fully there. And that's expensive. Let's talk biology. Anger is part of your stress response system. It activates when something feels unjust or misaligned or overwhelming. When anger is chronically suppressed, cortisol levels stay elevated. Chronic cortisol affects sleep, recovery, testosterone balance, immune function. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker explains that stress disrupts deep sleep cycles, and poor sleep makes emotional regulation worse the next day. And now you're more reactive, more tired, more short, and you don't even know why. You don't get rid of the anger. You store it in your nervous system, and over time, your body pays the bill. Now let's talk about marriage. Dr. John Gottman studied thousands of couples over decades. One of the strongest predictors of divorce wasn't yelling, it was stonewalling. Stonewalling is emotional withdrawal, shutting down, becoming inaccessible. Not rage, silence. Most men stonewall because they're overwhelmed. Their nervous system is flooded, so they shut it down. They think they're preventing damage, but long-term emotional withdrawal erodes trust. When anger goes underground, connection goes with it. You're not suppressing anger because you're weak. You're suppressing it because you're responsible. You don't want to scare your kids. You don't want to hurt your wife. You don't want to be unpredictable. That instinct is good, but responsibility without regulation becomes silent burnout. There's a difference between disciplined strength and emotional suppression. Disciplined strength acknowledges the signal and channels it. Suppression buries it. And buried anger doesn't die, it hardens. Healthy anger is an explosion. It's leadership. Anger is an advanced instinct. It signals a boundary has been crossed, something is misaligned, or you're overloaded. Healthy expression sounds like this. I'm carrying a lot right now and I need 20 minutes before we can talk. That's not weakness. That's controlled fire. It's calm boundary setting. It's physical release through training and movement. It's direct communication without contempt. Strength under control builds trust. Here's what most men never realize. Your family doesn't need a man who never feels anger. They need a man who can carry it without letting it leak. They need to know that when something is wrong, you face it, not swallow it. When you suppress anger, you don't become safer, you become distance. And distance is what slowly erodes trust. And when you learn to regulate it, to name it, to channel it, and to speak it calmly, something powerful happens. Your kids feel steadiness instead of tension. Your wife feels connection instead of confusion. You feel strength instead of pressure. That's the difference between silent shutdown and calm leadership. Anger handled with discipline becomes clarity. Clarity becomes boundaries. Boundaries become respect, and respect builds a home that feels secure. You don't need less anger, you need better command of it. That's what strong men do, and that's what we train here. Now, if this hits home, subscribe. This channel is for responsibility-minded husbands and fathers who are carrying a lot and want to lead with calm strength instead of silent burnout. If you've been swallowing it for years, drop a comment that says regulated and share this with a man who needs to hear it. Strength isn't silence. Strength is control.